You are listening to The Remedy.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Remedy. Glad to have you guys here. Jay Thompson, Saturday. What a beautiful day. What a nice weekend. I hope you guys are all doing well. Back again, I just wanted to drop this, let's call it another shot in the arm, a little dose of what might be able to help the soul this week as we wrap up our week and just try to enjoy some time alone with yourself and reflect. I don't know when you or if you get the time to do that, but it's a good measure of practice to get some alone time with yourself, doing something you enjoy, right? Doing something that you like to do. And I don't know, maybe you have to figure that out again. Maybe you have to rediscover some things that you like to do. I was stumped for a while. I was like, what do I like to do? And I was trying to come up with stuff that I did, but I really didn't like it and didn't know if I wanted to do it again. It was just getting all too confusing. But, and I'll share this with you guys. I have a big fascination with kites. I always have since I was a young child. And I just like the, I don't know, maybe the nature part of it, maybe just the freeness of what the wind is doing to the kite. I don't know. The whole aspect of it has always just kind of fascinated me. And I think where I lived, I think there was a big influence of kites. I remember seeing these giant kites that used to fly in the sky a lot in North Carolina where I used to live. And so this maybe had something to do with it. And you just, look up in the sky. It was a good practice of what I now know is mindfulness. Now, I didn't know that then, but good action of mindfulness. So I kind of treat myself to kite days when the wind starts blowing just right and I can kind of sense that it's a nice day to fly a kite and really feel that pressure of that wind working against that kite as you let all the string out, just like a kid, just kind of enjoy yourself. And it seems to break the stress for a little while, because I'm kind of just serving my own little world. I'm not begging anyone to go with me. I'm not trying to influence other people to like kites. I'm not trying to start a club or anything. I'm just treating myself to something that I can just be anonymously happy and influenced by. You know what I mean? I don't have to, go out and get 10 friends to want to play a whole volleyball match. I'm just going out by myself and doing something that you can engage in or that I can engage in that just kind of keeps my harmony. And that's what is kind of important for, most people out there. Like I said, I work in a field where I talk to a lot of people who are, really trying to gather some mental health fundamentals. They're just trying to figure out, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? And I even had some time ago, I guess I can recall this now. Some time ago, I had a client that was really looking for, breakthroughs. He was like, I need a breakthrough before I break down, and he was very, just really worried about a larger thing happening that would change everything for him. He wanted something just magical and very just over imaginative to happen that would clearly define for him what was supposed to happen. And as I spoke to him for the time that I did, I tried to reassure him that those answers we don't have the control of, because when we're looking for something that's very, some people says, I need the kaboom. I need something that just says, that's it. And there's no, changing their mind about it, or I guess it's what they're looking for is a grounding. What you want is some sort of real cemented value to what you really want to believe. And, that's part of the confirmation process, yes. But sometimes we miss in the process of, there are details, there are things that are guiding you in that way. There are things that are telling you exactly what you're looking for in that big kaboom. Sometimes the small ones are just as important, the small little things that maybe we take for granted. And that's part of the breakthrough process. I think you get a series of breakthrough moments, but these are had with yourself, right? These are had with your own breakthrough ideals, Like, what are you really hoping for that'll happen that you're not quite giving yourself? You know what I mean? Now, yes, we're waiting on other people sometimes to make the decisions, but oftentimes we're waiting on something to happen that will change our reality. But what are we doing that will change our reality? Because we are that powerful that we can change our own reality. Essence, we can be the thing that we're waiting on. So when I was talking to him about this breakdown idea or breakthrough, I said, breaking down is really a part of one's own thinking mechanisms that don't work anymore, right? Because when you feel like, well, let's think about it in a car idea, okay? When you get a part in a car that breaks down or stops working, it can affect the whole car. You know what I mean? You think this big car with all these different parts, you know what I mean? And then one small part goes out. Sometimes I've seen it to where the part is no bigger than my hand or the length of my palm, and this small component stopped the entire car from operating. Right? But this is true in other ways too. This is the components in us that don't work anymore, that are sure to break down when we're not servicing ourselves, when we're not getting back to those moments where we are feeding ourselves the right foods, the right things, the right healthy doses of good mental clarity that lead us to these breakthrough moments, right? Because we're getting breakthrough moments all the time, but we're in breakdown because our method of challenging the breakdown is off. We don't have anything to challenge it against. So I kept working with this client to learn to challenge the breakdown. This is where we have to get efficient in challenging the breakdown, right? Because the error that most people make, and even myself and continue to make, and most people will continue to make it, is feeding into our own dumb thoughts. And yes, I call them dumb thoughts because sometimes we think things that haven't happened yet, that complicate and further force us into breakdown mode, because we are now becoming our own worst enemy. We are sabotaging ourselves. So when these dumb thoughts that we don't challenge come along, we give in to them, right? We give in to them. And I'm talking about thoughts. Maybe I need to define some of these thoughts that I don't quite agree with. Thoughts when people say things like, everyone is against me. Well, you haven't met everyone. And if you really stopped and looked, you've pushed more people away than you actually allowed to help you in the first place. So those are dumb thoughts that you act upon when you use them against yourself, right? Another one is, I never do anything right. I'm a failure. Well, this is a dumb thought because you haven't tried. You haven't sincerely tried, because we are all we're all in that same motion. We all have to keep going. So you don't know what you will succeed at. So you're using statements against yourself to stop your progress forward. Another one that always kind of confounds me is when people go, you wouldn't understand. And that's coming from people that aren't talking, right? So, those are just some of my personal ones that I look for and try to encourage people to challenge, right? And what does it mean to challenge these thoughts? What do you think about when you hear the word challenge? Well, I think of somebody that's preparing for a fight, for a battle. They're preparing. When they say challenge, we're going to challenge. We're preparing mentally. Yeah, okay. What are we hearing when we hear the word challenge? We're hearing that, there's going to be a test of skill against something. And in this case, it's against you. You are your worthy opponent that you have to go against and help yourself get over these things by challenging these thoughts that are out to set you back, right? So you would have to challenge those thoughts of, I never do anything right with, I maybe need to try more things. So I can see if this information is really correct of what I'm telling myself. That thought doesn't make sense because I haven't tried things with my whole heart, whole effort, my focus, my full attention, best attitude. I have not tried things to that degree. So making statements that I fail at everything is not in my best interest. It is in fact dumb. Because dumb is a word that means we haven't educated ourselves to learn better yet. Stupid is when we do it again and again and again, right? So being dumb isn't a big deal. We're all dumb to things until we try it, right? We all don't know exactly what we know until we know it. So, fools have a chance to do better, and that's why if we listen correctly and we hear other people and we learn from our experiences and we try to keep ourselves in some sort of spiritual connection, we can get better. We can escape the dumbness. We can get away from it. We can escape those things by learning, by listening. But when we start, let me get back on topic here about the breakthroughs because I don't want to lose that focus. But I wanted to get into the part of the challenging. Because the battle begins in you, and you have to be ready to challenge these things with swift sword action, right? We have to be proficient in our sword action. We have to be, lightning fast with responses that matter to ourselves, that are going to motivate us out of the direction we're going, right? So if we're in the pity party mode, we have to have better words than let's invite some people over. And have a pity party where I finally get mad and go off on people. See, you're setting yourself up. Those better words that you need to have for yourself in those moments when you're not feeling the best is, I think that means I need some special attention for myself. I think I need to do something that matters for me. Maybe I need to take care of me. See, as you're feeling those, experiencing those moments that get you to a certain mood or get you to a certain moment where you feel like breakdown is on its way, you need to be adding in now at this point the doses of, okay, I think this is a red alert for me. I think this is an indication that I'm not quite feeling something connecting me because I feel like I want to get in this mood, or I feel like I'm not being appreciated. I think this is an indication to myself that I need to appreciate me so I can get a breakthrough on how responsive I am to myself, to my needs in the time that I need me to be. See, this would be a breakthrough when people are looking for this big giant moment where boom, something just happened and now I got this breakthrough. This small step along your journey, along your way, where you learn to tend to yourself in a more healthier fashion, quicker, more reliable. You can now get a breakthrough in the future moments of your life, which will now change your perception of yourself, which increases your attitude and your functioning towards your own being. This now increases your own power, right? Because when you attend to you, you only increase your value. When you attend to you, you increase your value to yourself. The only way you change is when you increase your value, right? How many cars have you seen in front of people's house that just keeps getting worse and worse year after year, and they keep telling you they're going to fix it? But every year I see those same cars, I keep telling people it looks like you're just gaining on more to fix. Now, not only do you have to fix the engine and this and that, but now you got to paint it and everything else. It's rusty, it's this, it's that. It's been neglected, right? Right? It's been neglected. They're not going to do it. That's not going to happen, right? So there's never a breakthrough moment where the car looks restored because it's always in breakdown. All right. I think we got the idea, right? Challenge those thoughts today. Add in a measure of challenge. I'd like to see you guys try to come up with something. Write it down if you have to.
You are listening to The Remedy.
Write it down. Go through it. See if it makes sense. If it's a dumb thought, now we got to apply some challenge to it. Get it out of here. It doesn't belong anymore, all right? It doesn't belong. It doesn't function in the thing. So don't even give it any more food. We're going to starve this thing right out of you. It's time to object. Object to those thoughts that lead to the breakdown, all right? You can do it. Thank you guys for listening.